comfort me. She'd brought over an economy-sized box of tissues and 6 pints of cookie dough ice cream, which we both finished off in record time. She endured my bitching and moaning with admirable patience and literally provided me with a shoulder to cry on. And now, like a true devoted friend, she was rather loudly ridiculing the public display of gag-inducing affection between Jeffrey and his harlot. At hearing Trish's comment, they pulled apart just enough to allow dust particles to pass between them. But while Amber Lynn Rose glared over at us, Jeffrey made sure to avert his gaze elsewhere. With a huff, Amber Lynn Rose took Jeffrey's arm and proceeded to lead him down the hallway. He obediently followed her like a lemming following the herd off a cliff. I smiled when I thought of them both falling off a cliff. "Thanks, Trish," I said, slamming my locker shut. She leaned against the locker next to mine and studied her nails. "No prob. I just can't believe how insensitive he's being. And to think, I spent the last few years thinking Jase was insane for hating his guts." Jase was Trish's older brother, a senior who was only about a year older than both Trish and myself. Jase and Jeffrey used to be pretty good friends. In fact, the two of them used to hang out with me and Trish all the time. But ever since he'd entered high school, Jase hadn't had much to do with any of us. One day, he started hating Jeffrey for some reason that was still unknown to pretty much everyone. As for me, he just hadn't made it much of a habit to speak to me. I shrugged, slinging my backpack over my shoulder. I wanted to change the subject because I had already wasted too much time and energy thinking about Jeffrey. But Trish was too quick to continue. "So, I've been thinking about something," she said, dragging out the sentence. She was hesitating, as if trying to decide whether or not she should continue speaking. I knew this meant that whatever she had to say, I probably wasn't going to like it. "Yeah?" "And?" I coaxed her. "And I came to the conclusion that it kills me to see you like this." I glanced down at myself. "Like what?" "Constantly on the edge of an emotional breakdown," she pointed at my face. "Your eyes are puffy from crying yourself to sleep every night, and you become careless in your fashion choices. I mean, come on, a flannel shirt? Hello, the early 90s happened like 2 decades ago. Get with the times." I made a face as I tugged protectively at my plaid print button-up shirt. It wasn't flannel, it was a polycotton blend. My younger brother Aaron had outgrown the shirt during his prepubescent growth spurt last year, and he gave it to me as a Christmas present because he was too cheap to buy me anything. So what if I was wearing a hand-me-up from my 14-year-old brother? It was comfortable. And it wasn't like I had dressed like a runway model before the breakup with Jeffrey. "Trish, you're supposed to be my supportive best friend." "That's exactly what I am. Which is why, instead of doing my homework last night, I devised a plan." I groaned. Trish's plans were terrible and almost never ended well. "I'm not interested." As we began to walk down the hallway, I couldn't help but notice a few boys ogling her as we walked by. Trish was gorgeous. She was tall, thin, and curvy, with long wavy red hair and big, bright green doe eyes. She towered over me like a giant. Whereas she was nearly 5'10", I was a measly 5'4". Just one of the many reasons why I'd always felt somewhat self-conscious around her. I mean, I wasn't hideous or anything. If I was, Jeffrey would have never dated me for 3 years. But still, in comparison to girls like Trish and Amber Lynn Rose, I was somewhat unremarkable. The only thing that kept me from hating Trish with every fiber of my being was the simple fact that she didn't act like she was gorgeous. I wasn't even sure she knew. "At least hear me out. Sorry, I've got to get to class. It's your lunch period?" She was right. With a defeated sigh, I led us over to a quieter area of the hallway. "Okay, so what exactly is this plan you've devised?" She grinned with pure delight. "It's a plan that will kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm against cruelty to animals." "Shut up, you moron."